Welcome to The Cosmic Entrepreneur, the podcast where mystical wisdom meets the world of entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Christine, and I'm honoured to be your guide on this cosmic journey of self-discovery and business success. Each month, we'll explore the fascinating realms of spirituality, energy healing, astrology, Akashic Records, many other esoteric practices, and multidimensional aspects of entrepreneurship. Through open conversations, shared experiences, and practical insights, my intention is to empower you to integrate these profound teachings into your personal and professional life, helping you manifest abundance, align to your highest timeline, and make a difference in the world. Whether you are an inspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply curious about the intersection of spirituality and success, this podcast is here to enlighten, empower, and elevate you. Hello and welcome to my solo episode. Today I wanted to give an overview of what the Akashic Records are and then the different types of offerings that I offer with the Akasha. So one would be the Akashic Records reading. The second one would be an Akashic Records clearing and healing session. And then we also have an Akashic Records combination session. Okay, so let's dive in. So Akashic Records is a field of consciousness that holds information and knowledge about your soul's journey ever since it left source. So it has the records of all the words, thoughts, and actions across all space and time. It contains information about your current life, past lives, and future probable timelines. So Akasha is this energy as it is before it is directed by us. So there is this information that exists before we put a thought to it. So lots of ancient mystery schools have made a reference to this field of consciousness. Akashic Records are mentioned in the Bible as the Book of Life. You may have also heard it referenced as the Emerald Tablet or the quantum zero-point energy that carries all information about the universe. So it's basically like an encyclopedia of all knowledge that ever existed in the universe. Great thinkers, artists, and innovators of the world like Albert Einstein and Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla have tapped into this pool of knowledge. We actually tap into the Akasha consciously and unconsciously throughout the day. Do you know when you have this insight or this aha moment and you are in this creative flow and you're getting all these lovely ideas about work, about what you need to do next, and you are just pumped. You're tapping into the Akashic Records. So you're actually tapping into the sixth dimension. Akashic Records are stored in the fifth dimension and above. So we all have this ability to tap into it. The Akashic Records is the collective consciousness. So you have your own Akashic Records that form part of the collective consciousness of humanity as well. So you can just imagine how big the Akashic Records are. So do you ever see myself or other practitioners go into the energy or the collective energy of the planet? So what we're doing, we're tapping into the energy of the planet and receive the message, like a general message overall. But because there's different levels of consciousness on this planet, so everybody is living their reality and everybody's perception of their reality is different. So everybody is on these different levels of consciousness. The message that we receive from the Akasha can be very general. So then you also have your own Akashic Records, which is really unique and individual to you. So when we tap into your own Akashic Records, you can have a look at your past lives, your current life, and your future probable timeline. So it's not a psychic reading, so you can't foretell what's going to happen, but your future probable timeline is based upon the choices that you make now. And your guides in the Akashic Records will recommend and give you tips and guidance on what you can do to step onto that highest timeline that you wish to step into. And because it also has all the record of your past lives and your current lifetime as well, your guides know you better than you know yourself. So they will show you, they can demonstrate, illustrate your challenges that you're going through, your blocks. They can highlight them so you understand them, you have them in your awareness, and they will give you tips then on how you can overcome these blocks. So the records are not exclusive to anyone or anything. They're available to us all. Like, we all have access to the records. It's easier to access your Akashic records after you've started your spiritual journey. So you may have worked with Reiki or tapped into other healing modalities. You may have done some inner child healing or shadow work. But this doesn't suggest that you need to be in any way fully healed, because we are always healing. And it just means that you're on a path of healing and you're now open to connecting to your higher self and spirit more. So you have this awareness that there's more to you than this physical body. You understand that you're a soul incarnated in this human experience, and you're really here for a little blip of time. So it's just understanding that and understanding and believing that in the concept of reincarnation. Like, when I first started my spiritual journey back, I always say 2020, but I'm sure it started in 2018 when I had my son. But I didn't believe in reincarnation. Like, that wasn't a thing in my awareness at all. But as I went on and I studied yoga and different types of healing modalities, I started to realize, okay, there's actually more to this than this lifetime. And it was just really cool to see how my past lives have affected me now in this current reincarnation, because I can tap into them now through my Akasha. So it's just for you to be aware that we are soul incarnated in the human body. And of course, you know this already if you're listening to this episode. So it's about understanding the more we do the work, the more we can go up in frequency. So understanding that the more we tap into our shadow work, the more we send healing to our inner child, the more we love ourselves and increase our awareness about our relationships, about our self-love, about our self-worth and confidence, and digging deep into removing any of the shadows, any of the darkness that we have suppressed. And we want to transmute those emotions, and we want to create more love and acceptance within our body. And understanding that the more we do the work, so the more we release all the limiting beliefs, all the energetic emotions within the body, because the body, it keeps a score of all the emotions and everything, all the memories that we've had over a lifetime. And this current lifetime is recorded within our physical body as well as all our energetic bodies. And the more we start to increasing our awareness of these memories and these blocks, and the more we transmute them, the higher self we can accept, and the more light we can hold, and the more lighter we become. So the reason you may want to explore your Akashic records would be you would want to get advice on personal or spiritual development, or receive healing, or improve your connection to spirit and enhance your spiritual gifts. So that was a really big one for me and many other colleagues and friends that I know who tapped into the Akashics, that the more you work with the Akashics, the more your spiritual intuitive gifts will come online. And it's really cool to see. So, for example, I wasn't aware that I was able to have visions in the Akashic records. Like, I view my past lives as visions and images that come through. I'm able to see and vision everything that has happened. And I wasn't aware of that beforehand. And then when I started doing my Akashics, it got better and better, and now I'm able to see more past lives. I'm able to look into the future probable timelines also. So it's the more you work with the records, the more your spiritual gifts, the more they will come online. So you can also tap into the Akashic records for creative and artistic projects, so like writing or painting or composing music. So the way I write my master classes, or the way I write my trainings, I tap into my Akashic records, because I feel like when I tap into the Akashic records, I get the information that the people on the courses or the workshops they will need. So I ask my guides and my master teachers, loved ones, to show me information that I need to include in the content. You may also want to explore your records so you can get help in managing your life, health, family, community, work, finances, career, or relationships. And of course, also if you're curious. So if you're curious about your past lives, your star origin, your galactic history, your soul purpose, your soul contracts in this current lifetime. So curiosity will always lead then to your guides, obviously giving you information that you need now. So for example, if you want to find out about your past lives, they would be related to this lifetime. So say for example, if you have a fear of heights and you are not quite sure where this fear is coming from, and we may tap into the Akashic past lives, your guides may show us that you may have had past lifetimes where you fell out of the airplane, for example. It could be absolutely crazy stuff that comes through in the readings. But when you hear that stuff, I always find that the clients, they really resonate with it. It's like they knew deep down within that was the cause. Some people can already tap into their past life. So it's just when you're getting the reading, it's like this reassurance, this confirmation that this actually did happen. So the reasons you may want to explore your Akashic Records is to also access the records of your home, your business, your pets, and other people. But that would be for level 2 training. That's when you go on to, if you want to train up and read for others. And you always need to have permission in order to access the records. You will not be allowed to access anybody's records without their permission. So let's hone into what an Akashic Records reading is. So a reading takes place over on Zoom and typically lasts 1 hour. Like I always recommend having your questions ready for the reading, as your records are vast, and by having specific questions ready, you will get the answers that you seek. The best questions to ask are questions starting with what, why, how, or where. And when questions do not work, as there is no concept of time in the Akashic Records, the reading will bring forth information, advice, and healing and guidance to help you on a soul level, helping you identify your life purpose and potentially any blocks that may be holding you back in this lifetime from achieving and living your highest timeline. So the records will also show you the challenges and patterns and opportunities within you, and will also include, like we mentioned earlier, your past lives and how they're impacting you in this current lifetime, if this is what you want to know. So from a spiritual perspective, an Akashic Records guides will give you actionable steps and specific tools that you can use to improve your circumstances, raise your vibration, and live a fulfilling life with purpose and meaning. So an Akashic Records reading can empower you by helping you connect with your own intuition, wisdom, and decision-making abilities. It encourages you to remember who you are at a soul level and takes an active role in shaping your life's direction and outcomes, rather than relying solely on external guidance. The reading will help you by confirming what you already suspect about yourself. You may have a sense who you are at a soul level, but you may have been discouraged by many to abandon your innate skills and abilities and instead lead a more traditional life. So the Akashic Record Keepers and Guides will encourage you to be who you came here to be and embrace your innate skills and fulfill your life path. I find that when you come to a reading, you have this inner knowing that you have these skills within you, but you may be afraid to use them because there's this underlying fear that you will be judged, you will be critiqued, you will be looked at as an outcast. And again, it could be linked to the fact that you were kicked out of a community, and that happened so many times in the readings that I've had previously, where a client came in and they realized I was shunned from a community, and because I was different, or there were lifetimes where they made vows not to use their spiritual gifts because that they weren't allowed. They were seen as witches. The witch wounding is like a big thing for the females. Yeah, so it runs really deep. So when you get that information from the Akasha. It can really like activate this remembrance within you to say, actually, that is not my truth anymore. And we can render that contract. We can release that contract then for you. So you can actually now step into your power, because you're not going to be shunned from a community. You're not going to be looked at as the weird one out, because you are in your power when you are using your gifts and you have all these skills from previous lifetimes and you want to use them in this lifetime. If that makes you happy, you should. And that brings me to an Akashic Records healing and clearing session. So an Akashic Records healing and clearing session is a deep energetic healing and clearing of the 7 energy layers of your light grid that will help you remove energetic stagnation from your current life, past life trauma, ancestral wounding, karmic cords, redundant soul contracts, and implants. So I work closely with your higher self, your masters, teachers, and loved ones as they do the clearing work on your energy bodies. I then act as a channel and an investigator to report to you the information on what healing and clearing takes place and where it is being done. It is your job then to transmute any emotions that come up after the clearing takes place. So for the clearing session, when you book in, it does take an hour and 40, nearly 2 hours sometimes. So what happens is we connect on Zoom, say at a specific time, whatever dedicated time that you booked in for. So say it's 10 o'clock in the morning. For the first 10 minutes, we just have a chat and I bring you into this grounding, relaxed state. So the first 10 minutes, we may want to explore your intentions and do a meditation. And then for the next hour, you relax as your higher self, master teachers, and loved ones will do the clearing work. And after that, I will guide you out of your relaxed state and we will chat about what actually was cleared and where it was cleared. During a session, you may feel like you are in and out of this consciousness, kind of in an altered state. So I find when I'm getting clearings myself, I'm kind of glued to the bed. Like I'm not like stuck to the bed, but I feel like the work is being done. So I'm just lying there and I feel like I'm in a different altered state. So you may start getting visions, you may start getting images, symbols coming through. You may start feeling cold or hot, tingling within the body, different sensations. You may feel, I always find if there's a clearing, something releasing, say, from the leg or the arm, you'll feel like energy of movement, or you may feel nothing at all. Maybe the guides will just put you in this state where you're just blissed out. And also, you can also fall asleep. So in and out. So if they know that your mind is going to be busy and is going to be racing, they actually may just put you to sleep. So you're not in the way with your logical mind, because it's just a clearing and a healing that's taking place. And that's why there's no talking for the hour, because we don't want your mind getting in the way. You're relaxing, you're completely zenned out. And while you're doing that, I'm actually talking to your master teachers and loved ones and your higher self, because I'm asking different questions as to what is actually taking place. And I, as a channel, then can actually sense feelings within my body sometimes, or I get visions, and there's different ways to receive information. Initially, this is what I'm doing. I am just gathering knowledge, but I also feel it within my body as well, while the healing and clearing takes place. So after that, we'll have a chat as to what happened and different tips that you can do then after the session. So I always recommend having like 2 days off after the session, because it's quite stronger than a Reiki session. So a Reiki session would work on your 3 energy layers. So your physical, mental, and emotional body, and obviously spiritual. It's working on your current lifetime. And with the Akashic Records healing clearing session, we're working on the 7 energy layers. We're going into as far as ancestral trauma and your past lives as well. So it is a deep cleanse of your energy layers. So when that happens, so you can just imagine the blocks could be sucked away from your light grid. So now your light grid needs to rebalance itself. You need to rebalance itself. So when what happened to you, you may feel a bit heavy, a little bit, feel a bit lightheaded, or because your body is trying to adjust to this new frequency. You're initially upgrading. So you're just like a computer, basically. So think of yourself as a computer. I always say, when a computer needs a good clean, it basically shuts off and then like restarts, and you can't do anything. So this is you, this is your body. You want to be sitting there and integrating the energy. Like, you don't want to be doing anything else. You really want to give yourself that time to rebalance yourself and upgrade, essentially. So I always say 2 days is great. So for example, I find the first day your head could feel a bit heavy, and then you're fine the next day. So it all depends on a person. It all depends how you can transmute the emotions. By transmuting emotions, then I will actually talk about it then at the clearing and healing session, because everybody is different. So it depends what came up in your healing and clearing session, and it depends what guidance you were given. So everybody, like I said, would be different. And then it does take about 2 weeks to fully integrate the healing and clearing that takes place. Just to give you an example, when I first got my healing clearing session, the first day I was loving light, and I was running around the place and I was happy out. I was so excited, and the next day I felt really heavy. I couldn't really concentrate on anything. It was very foggy. Felt like there was lots of head pressure. The guys were really working on through my head, on my third eye, and in the energy healing clearing session, I could actually really feel it. So there was a lot of clearing going on there. But 2 days after, I was full of life. Like, I felt like I got more of that higher self, that higher essence back. Like, it was really profound, because there was lots of throat activations for me as well. I was able to start using my voice more, whereas before I would be a really, really quiet child. I was a very shy child, would never speak out of turn, would never give my opinion for the fear of being laughed at. It's all like this good girl image that I grew up with. It all made sense with the clearings. So it is for you, if you are on your spiritual journey and you have tried all the different modalities like talk therapy, and you've done your inner work, but you're still feeling a bit stuck, there's more work to do. Like, this healing and clearing session is very much perfect for you. So this brings me to my final offering, which is an Akashic Records combination session. So this includes a reading and the clearing together. So this is a much longer session. So we spend about 3 hours together. So we initially do the reading first, which takes about an hour. Take maybe a little break in between, just about 5 minutes to get our energy back. You may want to go to the bathroom or have a cup of tea. And then we go into our grounding meditation. We're going to go into setting your intentions as to what we want out of the healing and clearing session. Then we go into the healing clearing session itself. That's another hour. So that brings us up to 2 and a bit hours. And then we obviously talk for another 40 minutes, an hour. So it is approximately, I say on my booking system, that it's 2 hours and 40 minutes around, but always give 3 hours, because you never know. You may need like an extra healing, you may need extra support to talk after. So approximately 3 hours is the session. and it's like a dive deep because you get a really thorough reading and a clearing at the same time. So that would be all. And if you want to access your own Akashic Records, if it's something that you're interested in, I'm holding level 1 training in June 2024. It's going to take place over 3 weeks, and we're going to cover everything you need to know in order to access your Akashic Records. So what they are, who are the lords, master teachers, and loved ones of the records, the guidelines, the protocol, the chakras, the dimensions, levels of consciousness, your vibratory rate, everything you need to know really to be able to do this for yourself. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for allowing me to be your guide on this cosmic and entrepreneurial journey. I hope this episode inspired you in some way and would love to hear your thoughts. So send me a message on my Instagram at christinemar.co, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. Until next time.